Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to share my thoughts on a game that just came out. It's called Maneater, and you play a bull shark hellbent on revenge on Scaly Pete, who done slain your mother and cast you back into the waters, scarred for life, so that he could spot you at a later date when you're grown up a bit and you'd be a bit more of a challenge to kill. Nice guy, looking forward to bumping into Scaly Pete and eating him, hopefully by the end of the game. Now, Maneater, I was looking forward to this because I enjoyed Jaws Unleashed so much back on PS2 many years ago, and I'll be talking about Jaws Unleashed a fair bit during this video because there's just no way for me not to, because some of my issues with this game, you know, they are things that were present in Jaws Unleashed. Obviously, Jaws is a different game. It just happens to feature a playable shark, whereas Maneater is a completely different company, completely different story, non-related. But obviously, the guys who made Maneater would have checked in on Jaws Unleashed. Someone would have played it and thought, right, this works, this doesn't. Let's borrow that. Let's not borrow this. So, one of the things in Maneater that kind of pisses me off a little bit is the fact that you can't target specific body parts on the humans like you could in Jaws. Now let's say you're playing Jaws Unleashed and you're below the surface of the water and there is a guy or gal swimming on the surface of said water, and you can either target their foot, their leg, their hand, their arm, their torso, or their head. You can lock onto these specific body parts and then clamp your big Bruce jaws down on top of them, and then you can shake the stick and eventually rip off that appendage, or, you know, the head if you want to. And it's gross. I mean, in Jaws they really went for it. You could literally drag someone under the water and just kind of toy with them. You could really toy with your victims in Jaws. You had complete control over the shark. You had complete control over what you were doing with that mouth. The mouth is the only thing he has to work with. Yeah, he can do the tail flicks and all that, but the mouth, you got to get that right. What happens with that? I mean, with Maneater, they kind of simplified it. It's like when you play Spider-Man games and they make the swinging dead simple for stupid people. Whereas, like, you know, the original PS2 Spider-Man, 4 Spider-Man 2, and now the latest one on PS4. I mean, obviously they borrowed a lot from that Spider-Man game. Was it back in 2005 when Spider-Man 2 came out? Something like that. Long time ago. But in Maneater, the fact that when you drag someone underwater, you shake the stick or whatever you decide to do, basically what's going to happen is the shark will do this big dramatic unnecessary gymnastic kind of spin move, and then the person in its mouth will just explode in a big puff of red underwater misty blood, and there's even like a bang sound. So it's really kind of more Sharknado kind of territory, this one, whereas Jaws was visceral, kind of what would it be like to be Jaws. You know, they really let you do everything that Jaws could do in that game. So hats off again, all these years later, to Jaws Unleashed. Came out on PS2, Xbox, PC. Yeah, there's also this kind of, I don't mean to keep ragging on Maneater, because I'm going to give it a good, you know, spoiler alert, it's like a 7.5 maybe out of 10. It's a good game. It is good. It's worth the price that I paid for it. I mean, it was only £35 on the PlayStation Store. I thought that was, you know, more than fair. Once I'd played it for a few hours, I thought, yeah, you know, I'm going to keep playing this. I want to see it through to the end. I want to upgrade my shark and see what I can get up to. Definitely looking forward to unlocking the open ocean part, like the Gulf, where you can actually go deep down, and yeah, I want to see what's down there. I've played it for a good 5.5 hours now, I guess. But there is this one annoying thing that happens where if you're anywhere near the surface of the water, the camera will keep kind of popping up above the surface so you can see your fin going through, like that kind of classic Jaws way. But it keeps happening at times where I don't want it to happen, and in order for the camera to go back below the surface, the only way you can do that is to hit the square button, because I'm playing it on PlayStation. I guess on Xbox that would be, oh, was it again? No, one of them ones. A, B, C. But yeah, you have to press the square button to go back below the surface, and in Jaws you could literally just complete freedom of movement. You could go up to the surface, just press the stick forward and go back below the surface. It was all so fluid and natural, and you really could enjoy swimming around as that shark in Jaws Unleashed. And it was a good looking shark as well, even though it was a PS2 game. Especially on PC I saw it, and that game still looks pretty damn good, at least on the shark and the way it moves and just the look of it. It's so fluid and it's really, you know, it's very well done. This shark in Maneater is also very well animated. There is a lack of water kind of light reflection off his back when he's near the surface. I think for a current gen game they should definitely have tried to do that. You can see it on the seabed, the light, you know, the way it kind of get those ripples of light. It's really, really nice looking, and it should be on the shark's back when he's swimming around. It would really have been an extra touch of class. But again, we're going more of a Sharknado kind of just extremely Saints Row with sharks kind of thing. You know, it's pretty ridiculous. But what else? The graphics are good. The sound, music, sound effects are pretty good. The music I'm liking. It's subtle, it's atmospheric, and it kicks in at the right times when you're doing some nasty shark action, and it will sound appropriate for what's going on. But I would have really liked to have been, or at least have the chance to choose different species of sharks to play the part of in this. I mean, I like the bull shark. I'm getting used to him now. I was, leading up to the game's release, in the first few hours of playing it, I was really wishing it was a great white, or at least a mako shark, because the mako shark is like a kind of smaller, faster great white with really nasty looking teeth. But I guess, you know, there's definitely a mako shark in the game because I've fought one, not the boss one yet, but just a regular mako. And there is a great white apparently as a boss. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that by now, but I think there is a great white in this game. So maybe once you beat these bosses, maybe if you complete the story, maybe you get to play as them. I doubt it. Maybe there'll be some DLC that will let us play as, you know, the king of the ocean, the great white shark. Because if you're going to do a shark game, you know, people want to be a great white. I think 90% of people out there would say that. You know, it's like, if you want to, you know, you're going to play a shark game, what kind of shark would you like to be? Well, great white. Or, yeah, a mako, or a tiger shark. They're pretty cool. Yeah, that would have been my third pick, or maybe even my second pick. Tiger sharks are mean, man. They got history. So, yeah, £35. I feel I've got me my money's worth. Not even finished yet. Please, someone hear a prayer, folks who made Jaws Unleashed, and bring us a HD remaster of that game. That would get me very, very excited right there. Because there's a lot of the remastered stuff going on right now. They've just released all the Mafia games. It's a trilogy, at least I saw that on the PlayStation Store today, because I'm more interested in playing a remastered version of the original Mafia. I only recently had another go on Mafia 2 back on my Xbox just a few months back, and I didn't really feel like playing through the whole thing again. I just wanted to dip in and just remind myself what Mafia 2 was like, and it was damn good. But Mafia 3, didn't play that much, didn't like it very much. So I'm not really interested in buying that trilogy pack. I'd rather just get Mafia on its own. And also they just released Saints Row 3 remastered, so I do feel like picking that up, and I'm hoping, I think I heard that they're making a Saints Row 5, like a proper next gen one. And with the character customization, that's quite an exciting prospect. Yes. So, Maneater. I haven't finished it yet, guys, so more of it just first impressions, really. Definitely a 7 out of 10, maybe even, yeah, I wouldn't go as far as an 8, but definitely 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I'm enjoying it. It's a cool thing to be able to play as a shark in a video game. Doesn't happen very often, and these guys, I think it's Quicksilver, is that the one? And other people that were involved in making it, but hats off to everyone. And I'm glad they, I'm glad they did it. I wish they had really done it and done, like I said, with that body, locking on like you could in Jaws to different body parts and focusing on those body parts. And you could, like I said, you could really YouTube it, man. Like, watch some footage out there. You could really mess people's day up in Jaws. Like, it was cruel. It was nasty. It was as nasty as you want it to be. You could just chomp them up and eat them whole, or you could really toy with your food in Jaws. So I wish they had gone there with Maneater, because once something's established, whether or not it was your company in the past that did it or not, you should take that one example of the one real good shark game that was made years ago, what worked, and come on, the violence, the eating people aspect of Jaws Unleashed definitely worked, and they should have taken that and just added to it rather than take a lot of it away and simplify it and kind of just, I don't know, I don't want to say cut the corner of it or being a bit lazy when it came to, okay, how involved do we want the controls to be when you're munching on people, but it is a lot, way simplified and way more, it's not as satisfying as Jaws Unleashed. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Enjoying it. I would recommend it to you at the current price that it is on PlayStation Store, £35. That seems about fair to me, but maybe wait for it to come down to 20, 25. You definitely get your money's worth though. with that, because I'm enjoying it, and you don't get shark games very often, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it too. Alright, drop a like on the video, guys, subscribe, check me out on Instagram and Facebook at DNet333, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.